Entrevistas Alfa.
So I'm Paty Velasco. I'm from Alfa 91.3, the best radio station in Mexico City. And it's really nice to have you here. Welcome, Elliot Moss.
Thank you so much.
You sing, you play several instruments, you're a producer, a songwriter, and you are so young. I mean, you're not even in the 30s and you have so much success.
Well, thank you. That's very sweet. I like to be like okay at a lot of things. I feel like is how I describe it. Like I've got friends that are like an amazing drummer, like an amazing sax player. I'm just like I can barely play what I need to play. That's been working.
But you can do a lot of things. I mean, you can like all things is running in your mind, and then you can give them to the world. That's amazing.
Well, thank you.
So you have a new single, a new hit, Magic. I love the song, by the way. What does this song mean to you, Elliot? How was the process of creating it?
Magic was it.
It's magic.
It's really a funny thing because typically my approach when I'm writing is to like say, okay, here are like the 3, 4, or 5 things that really matter that need to be here to be this song. Magic was like, here's 500 things
Wow.
need to get layered into a wall and somehow work together. And it's kind of the emotional end of it is it's this temper tantrum almost where I'm kind of returning to like this childish screaming freak out as a reaction to some stuff that was going on in my life and down to the wannabe Eddie Van Halen solo that you like play in the living room way too loud and wake everybody up. Like I mean it sort of had that youthful like obstinance, I guess, that I it's something I never really explored in my music because I'm always worrying about how to like make it work in like a sleek sort of way. And it opened up this whole new world in terms of like letting the production decisions be as honest as the lyrics and like the feeling that went into the song and not worrying so much about it being perfect and instead kind of just accepting that this is just going to be a pile of stuff and somehow we'll make it work. So,
but all these things in your mind that you were saying, they were like sounds or lyrics or what was it?
Well, it's the song was written just on guitar and singing, and it kind of has the hook that keeps going by that it's this thing that says it's all in your head, it's all in your head, it's all in your head is like this idea that's building constantly that like that this anxiety attack of a song is sort of this thing that you do have control over, but you're going to lash out instead of like doing something mature about it, which sometimes is the answer. And it just built from there because I would make one section larger and then I'd be like, wait, now the bridge is small, and I go to the bridge and make the bridge bigger and I'm like, oh, now the chorus is small. I just keep going further until it was like building skyscrapers that were fighting until it just kind of reached this big wall of sound. And the next thing I like ordinarily would have done is been like, okay, now what 4 things stay and then everything else goes, and instead I just left it, which felt kind of cathartic and cool and felt like it really embodied the feeling behind the song a lot too, where you just kind of want to make all this noise and kind of create your own chaos to distract from the chaos that you didn't make. So like, it was a new thing for me.
And I think the result was Magic as a title song. And speaking of guitars, you added some great riffs at your songs. I really like it.
Thank you. I've been trying to get back on guitar a little more.
Is guitar your favorite instrument to play?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely where I'm most comfortable because I grew up on that and then kind of shied away from it for a while as I got into synthesizers and kind of more in the box production. But I was just finding it kept making a lot of sense for me to pick one up and write on that because it just sort of comes more quickly. I don't have to think about what I'm doing as much. Like I'm not a good keyboard player at all, so it's nice to be able to kind of play what I'm thinking a little bit faster. So it's been cool.
Okay. Elliot, you once said peace comes from feeling things sharply. You mean like feeling positive and negative things with all your heart? Because you need to be brave to do so.
Yeah, and I avoid doing it constantly, but when it's terrifying. And when
I
something's
know.
really awful is sort of around you, and you keep shutting it out and pretending like it's not there. It, I mean, you have to kind of look it in the eyes and like go through it rather than around it. I think to make sense of things, and that's kind of what the making this tune felt like. I'm sort of afraid to be as honest as I'm being in some of these, and like I don't want to play these songs for people I know because they're going to be like, hey, this is pretty specific. And I've never done that before, but I've also never felt as good about the music I've made before because it's kind of unfiltered and just as real as I could do. So I'm trying to apply that approach to songwriting as much as I am to life, but like succeeding more in the music than I am in life.
I know it can be tough sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes
You,
it's
you
hard. Yeah.
I know, I know. You come from a family where music is very important. So, what is the biggest gift that music has brought into your life?
Oof, it's been my whole life. I mean, I think the biggest gift is probably that my dad and I can spend so much time together doing it. He'll sometimes come out on the road and do,
And he will be touring with you.
he'll come from
Yeah,
Mexico.
that's super cool.
I mean, he was pretty thrilled. That's also his favorite place to tour. So
Wow.
it's just a crazy thing to kind of bring home with you when you go out on the
Mhm.
road. And that way it's not lonely. You don't really get homesick. It's like best of both worlds, I guess.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, I sort of grew up lurking around his studio, watching things, and then kind of worked my way into being a part of them. And it's fun to be at a point where we're kind of sharing in these moments, and like you can have this section of a song that you worked really hard on that you really hope works when it goes live, and then like you're finally playing it, and then I can kind of like see him in the back be like, and
Wow.
I'm like, hey, we did it, like but like last time we
Yes.
heard it with like the living room. So
Uh-huh,
it's
uh-huh.
it's a fun thing. It's cool. I really like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Music is a gift. Music is a blessing. Absolutely. Mhm. Do you have any plans to make new music, collaborating with some other band or artist? Maybe Mexican one?
I would love to. I mean, there's a couple of collaborations in the works. I mean, I've been pretty much making music videos 24/7 the last few
Uh-huh.
months, but I'm hoping to kind of get back in the music side of things and do that a bit. But these singles are all kind of like a part of something new that's coming, and it's something I'm really excited to share. So I'm hoping to you know be able to talk about that soon.
I hope so too. And we're
Yeah.
very excited because we will be seeing you soon in Mexico City next year. You will be touring with your dad, as we said. And
Yep.
yeah, that's great for us because you had a lot of Mexican fans and we're waiting for you, waiting to see your music live. And you once said that there is a feeling of gratefulness on the air in every one of your concerts. I mean, gratefulness, it's a great feeling. I mean, it should be a part of our life, a part of every day. So I love this phrase you said.
And it was very much a mutual thing. I mean, this was during COVID too, where I mean, it was
Mm,
just everyone was so grateful to be somewhere and be
alive.
something. Yeah, I mean, it was. I guess you forget what it can be, what it could be. So I mean, you like being finally in a room full of people that are all sharing in something together. I mean, I was grateful to be standing in a deli when I was. So
Mhm.
to be at a show is just such a special thing. So yeah, I'm we'll be very grateful to be there in
Mhm.
January.
Yeah, and it's not your first time in Mexico City. You've been in Corona Capital before.
And we played at the same venue actually a
Yes.
while ago now, but I mean it was absolutely awesome. So we're looking forward to
Mhm.
it.
And what do you think of Mexico and Mexican fans and Mexican food?
Okay, 10 stars, 10 stars, and 10 stars.
Thank you.
Mexican food is like I'm always trying to find like the next best Mexican food place from where I live, but There's nothing that compares to actually going to Mexico, walking around, and like we don't want to leave. It's all so good. And I mean, the like I don't know what it is, but Mexico they've always been so sweet and supportive of my stuff. And when we've gotten there, the people have been so incredibly kind. And I mean, we're all kind of looking around, wondering what we did to deserve like people being so
Oh, how sweet! Thank
but
you.
but but yeah, I mean, it's just like been like a you know such a wonderful experience in the past. So I'm sure it's going to be great.
Yeah, it will be great. And your dad agrees that Mexico is a great place to come and to play. So that's great.
Yeah, he's just as excited.
Yeah. We will be seeing you here in January. And for all your Mexican fans, do you want to share some message for them before we say goodbye?
Sure. I mean, it's just thank you so much for listening, all these years. And, we've been counting the days down to, come see you again soon. And new stuff coming soon too. I can't wait to share that as well.
Okay, great news. And we're playing Magic in Alpha 91.3, and it's a huge success.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to hear.
Thank you so much, Elliot, and thank you for this conversation. And okay, let's see you soon here in January.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you, Paty.
Okay, thank you, Elliot.
Entrevistas Alfa.